live stream with me, James Murphy. It is Monday evening, and that's our usual thing. This is what we do. I've got lots of things we want to have a little chat about during the evening, and we've got a big draw on that we've been planning and talking about for ages. That's going to happen. So hopefully you'll have a bit of fun this evening. There are going to be two winners for the draw, one for the DVDs and one for the Blu-rays. So that's all sorted. I did the draw earlier this afternoon, and I will announce them as time goes on. Hello, Chris. Good to see you in the room this evening. I hope you're feeling a bit better. I'm back after I've never had so much time off, if I'm truthful. I've sat at home in front of the telly and done nothing since last Wednesday. And for me, it's really, really boring to do that. I do my best to keep busy all the time. I get really bored if I don't have anything to do. So because I was so tired, I went to my niece's wedding on a week ago on Saturday. It is hard work doing nothing, Chris. You're absolutely right. I went to this wedding and we were only there for 3 hours, and it got to the stage where I felt that ill we had to come home. So when I got back last Monday, I booked a doctor's appointment, finally got in to see a doctor on Wednesday afternoon. And I was complaining about how tired all these tablets made me. So we've changed the medication. My heartbeat has gone back up to where it should be, and I've started to feel better gradually over the days. So I made a point of trying my best to be a good boy. So I've sat in, watched the telly. I've watched loads of telly. I've watched loads of DVDs and videos. But it's really, really boring. It's nice to do it when you take the time and have a little break. But when you constantly do that all day, because I was determined not to come in this office. If I'd have come in this office, I'd have been doing stuff all the time. And you can be sure that if I'd have been doing stuff in here, I'd have felt rotten again. So I've kind of had a week off. It's been really odd because usually my mind is always thinking about what video am I going to have next? What am I going to talk about in the live stream and all that sort of thing. And I haven't done any of that. The big problem is I haven't really got a ton to talk about this evening. Hi, Andy. How are you? As you see, I'm looking off that way because that's where my chat room is on the PC. You may notice today that the screen is all back to front. And that's because I'm using my phone, because I'm going to try and see if we can get through a live stream without it actually crashing. I know every time I seem to use the PC, something goes and we lose it. But I'm using my phone and my data. So I'm going to see if we can do it and not have to have a crash this evening. So if you're watching the replay of this, down below, sign in, let me know who you are and where you're watching from. And let's take this on. How have you been this week? The weather here has been pretty dreadful. It's windy over the weekend, wasn't it? But it's been nice out there today. One problem that I still have is that at the moment, you may not be able to see, but my eyes are very red. I'm really sore. I think it's probably coming from watching all the telly over the last week. I've been thinking about some of the new videos. I had some ideas given to me last week on what you'd like to see videos of. Somewhere here about my person, I've written them down. Some of the ideas that people came up with were, some of you wanted to see my sign writing, me doing a sign. And I'm thinking about that. I've got to clean up my shed first, though, because my garage is a complete tip and I need room to be able to get around something and paint it. So that's a job that probably will need doing in the week. Ideas for music videos. Did it? Chris Pomfret just said that Storm Amy blew the glass out of your greenhouse. Well, all of them or just one? That must be a not. Did he smash them to pieces and you got to replace them all? That's not going to be very good, is it? Yeah, if you're in the north part of the country, Storm Amy hit over the weekend, and it was a bit of a hoolie. But here, only 3. Well, that's not bad, really, is it? It could have been much, much worse. Hello, Jonathan. How are you? Good to see you here. You are on the south border. Well, where I am in Cambridgeshire, it was a bit windy. I could see the trees going, and we could hear the wind a bit, but it was probably nothing like it was up the country where everybody really suffered from it. Yeah, you were out of the range totally, weren't you, Jonathan, down there in Cornwall? I was telling Debs today that somebody asked me if I'd make a video about 70s sweets. And we were shopping this afternoon, so I was looking through the shops to see if I can find them boxes that they have with all the old refreshers and all those sorts of things in. So I was looking through them. I might buy one of these. I've got to do a video about 70s sweets. And she said to me, what are you going to do? Just sit there and eat them in front of everybody and tell them how lovely they are. I haven't really got an idea how I can do a video about that. It might be quite funny to do. So we got people want to look at my record collection and movie collection. Well, today is not a good day to do that because obviously everything's backwards. Do a quiz somehow. I'll tell you what I have been watching. There is a channel, can't remember what name it is now, but it's really good. They show album covers and take all of the text off of it. So it's got no writing for who the artist is, no writing for what the album is, and you have to guess what the album is and who the artist is. They show 50 photos and you get about 7 seconds or something to do the timing on it. And loads of them from like the 60s right the way through to new. Really quite good fun to do. But I was amazed. I did really, really badly, especially in the 70s one, which when you think about it, at my age, the 70s was my era of music as I was going into my teen years and so on. But I did really, really poorly on the 70s one. But it was good fun to do. Hi, Steve. How are you? You're in Breen, are you? Hiya, Luke. How are you? I'm feeling a bit better, thank you very much. The only thing that's left really, where I was suffering from fatigue, that's all gone and I'm feeling all right. But my eyes are really sore at the moment, so I've been out, Optrexed them up about 10 minutes ago. So hopefully I should be able to get through this all right. Project Weaver, how are you? Yeah, I'm feeling a lot better than I did earlier in the early part of the last week. I've got to say, the only way I can explain it, if anyone said to me about how did you feel, it was like having another me on my back. And everything felt so heavy. My heartbeat was too low. My heart was beating at about 42 to 46 beats a minute, where it should be at the lowest rate in the 60s and 70s. And changing the tablets has made a change with regard to that straight away. So I'm feeling a lot better, thank you. I know, Andy. It's really... Do they still have albums? I didn't know Spotify did albums. I thought it was all blooming just playlists these days and ages. But it was good. I'll have to try and find it. What I'll try and do is go into my history, find one of the quizzes, find out who it is, and I'll do a post. I'll do a community post with a link to it, and then you can have a go at it yourself because it's really, really good. Yes, Chris, it was really low pulse. I don't know about quizzes. I'm not... Do I have to be like Bamber Gascoigne or something on University Challenge? If you're young, you won't know who he is. But, we could try something. So, questions from you. Anyone who's got any questions? Like, I suppose you're going to be going to be, who's the winner then? Who won what? Well, I did do the draw this afternoon, and there are 2 winners, and both of them are in the chat room at the minute. So I can tell you that the winner of the Blu-rays is Jonathan Brewer. So I'll be sending them down to you down in Cornwall. And the winner of the DVDs is Luke Farrell. Now, what you'll both need to do is email me your addresses to info@thesandscratcher.com. Send me your addresses, and over the next day or tomorrow or 2, I'll get them packaged. The DVDs are already in this one ready. I'll get that sorted out and get them off to you. So hopefully by the end of the week, you should have the DVDs and the Blu-rays. You two, congratulations to you. I was a bit sad really, because not many people entered the competition. There weren't enough to make it a fun competition. But you guys, because there weren't a lot, actually did all right. So congratulations to you two. Whether I'll do another one, I'm not really sure, because there were less than 10 people, which surprised me. I thought we might have had more than 10 people enter, but there were less than 10. So I'll think on it, and I'll see what I can do, because there are still loads more to come. If you're wondering, that's guava and pineapple. And it's all right. It's not too bad at all. So let me have a quick read. Andy, hopefully yours is low. Yeah. No, it's not mouldy water. No. It's much higher than that. Let's have a look. No ladies in the room today. Where are they all? I have to see about that. So, bitter lemon. That's nice. I like that lemon. So yeah, if you two guys that have won the DVDs and the Blu-rays will email me, I'll try and get that sorted and get them off to you, and I'll email you and let you know when they've been sent. So hopefully you'll get them at the end of the week at the latest. What I've got to do, we have a post office that's actually less than 5 minutes walk from me, but it's closed down for the next 3 months. So to get them sent, I've got to go to our nearest village, which is about 5 miles away, and go and find the post office there. So I'll get them sent off to you. Thank you, everybody who did take part in that. It's a shame more didn't, but hey. Villages with post office. To be honest with you, Andy, it's not too bad round here. Where I live, like I said, there's a post office quite close, but it's inside the library, and they're doing it all up at the minute. It closed in September, and it will be shut until about halfway through December. So in the meantime, I've got to go to one of the 2 local villages that have both got post offices. I sent some DVDs to somebody the day after our post office closed, and when I got there, the other post office had trouble with the machine and couldn't send nothing, and so I had to go to another village even further away. So it's a bit of a pain. Do you know what I mean? It's a bit of a pain in the bum when you've got to go and do it miles away, but it's really handy normally, so I can't grumble too much, to be fair. What have we got here then? Yeah, well, no, Luke, what I'll do, I'll go over this week and get them over there anyway, because you've won them. I'll get them over to you as quickly as that. Have we not got on every drop-off point? No, and the nearest every point is about 7 miles from here, and the in-post lockers are in the nearest ones that I know to us are in a little town called St Ives, which is about 10 or 11 miles away from us. So I'll keep using our post offices for now. I like the fact that they still actually take real money in there, so that makes a nice change. Whatever. I would hope they don't close down. It's really nice for us to have a post office so close to me, to be fair. If I had to go into Cambridge, it would be a pain in the bum, because to park in Cambridge was like nearly £3 for an hour for parking. So you can add that on there, plus the petrol to go in and come back out. So that would be a pain, but we're very lucky that we've got the villages around here. There's a few of them there, so that's quite good. 100 yards away, that's not bad, Chris. Mine, I can get to ours in less than 5 minutes, probably less than 4. It is quite close. So I've been thinking, I'm thinking about doing a video this week about having a crisis of confidence and how to get out of it and get back to normal, because one of the things that I found, and you'll all know this for a fact, I've been through it in the last month or so, what with being ill and everything, and all my views and all that stuff going downhill. I've had a little crisis of confidence, and I've had a little whinge. I've done all of that sort of stuff, but I know how to get out of that because I've been there before. So I'm thinking that might be a decent little video to do in the next, I don't know, week or so. I've got to try and get back into it now. I usually, what I'm doing is always making plans and having video ideas and all that. But this week, where I've laid about and done nothing, I kind of got off the ball. So it's like starting all over again. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Car parking is a nightmare around here. A friend of ours came to see us on a Sunday, and we went into the town, and we were parked in the town for just, I think it was 4 hours and 5 minutes, and it cost him 20 odd quid to park there. So it's not the best. It's not the best going into Cambridge. When you go out of Cambridge, if you go to somewhere like Newmarket, which is 16 mile away, parking is like £1 for 2 hours, which is great. St Ives is pretty good as well. That's only up like a 10-mile journey. But going into the town at Cambridge itself is a nightmare. It's pretty awful. Of course, none of the car parking charges are worse than going into London, because I have got an old car. My car is 21-year-old. It goes well. I don't see no sense in going and spending a fortune on it to drive a car. I don't drive a car enough, to be honest. My car sits on the drive for most of the week because I work from here anyway, so I don't need a car for running about too much. We probably use it twice a week, running about into St Ives and things like that. Hello, Deb. How are you? I was just saying you're the first lady in the room today. Welcome along. Hope your video went well. I haven't seen it yet, obviously, because I've been here. So yeah, I was thinking about doing that for a video. I don't know what you think about it, but I'm tempted to do like a video of the stuff that I normally do, and then perhaps a different type of video, one about movies, music, anything like that, or something that we've chatted about in here that I think I can logically take forward. So that's the kind of where my thinking is. Hi, Retro, how are you? Do people in the UK bring their dogs in at grocery stores and restaurants? Not to the ones that I go to. I know there are some that do it, but generally no. That's a great. Do you know what, Luke? There's a car park in the town at Cambridge, and there's a house not far from it where they rent out their driveway during the day in the weeks, because the husband takes the car to work and the wife's at home during the day, and so they rent out their car space. I have seen that. Yeah, lots of places have loops. I'm sorry, I'm jumping about again, aren't I? I'm going from one to the other. We're just talking about whether animals are let into grocery stores and restaurants. Over here, there's generally somewhere to tie dogs or whatever outside. I haven't been in anywhere that allows dogs and stuff into either a shop or a restaurant, unless of course it's a guide dog. In that case, they generally let them in. Yeah, I don't see too much of it, Retro, to be honest with you. It's not something that I've tended to see. But to be fair, we don't go out for something to eat that often. But dogs in the trolley, stores, restaurants, pounds. I think you'd find. I think you'd find that over here, that the way it is with security and everything, they're not in the slightest bit interested in stopping anybody bringing a dog or anything into the shop anyway. Not that I'm saying they do, because I can't remember a time that I've seen one. But they won't. If they're not going to stop people who are shoplifting, I'm sure they won't stop anybody going into a shop with a dog or anything. But it's true. I've not seen one, so I can't really answer on that one. What's it like where you are then? Is it happening a lot? Sorry, Retro, I've forgotten. Where do you live? If you're watching along on the replay, please click in down below. Let us know who you are. If you've got any questions for me, let me know, because we haven't got too much to talk about this evening, because I've had this week off. I've kind of gone off the boil. I've been watching a lot of films. I'll tell you what, in Ohio. Okay. I've got a now. Look at my map to see where Ohio is. Hang on a minute. I know I've got a map here somewhere. Yes. Let's have a look. Ohio. Oh, in between Indiana and Pennsylvania. Okay. Now I know. Now I've got an idea. So I keep a little map. I've got a little map, which if I knew how to do it, probably it's down to the internet here not being great. But if you can use other software, it's pretty good, because you can put up a map of show you who's watching from where. What have I seen this week? I watched Soldier Blue yesterday. Years old, and I've never seen it. Brilliant film. Candice Bergen was excellent in it. The end of it's a bit brutal, even in today's age. Decent film. I watched a film last night called Yes Man, Jim Carrey, who generally I can't really watch. He kind of doesn't do it for me. Although I did watch that one where he was in the television program. I can't remember what it's called. I watched that yesterday. I've been watching a lot of series. I've been watching ER. Deb's brought me this 15 series of ER a while back, and we're up to series 7 at the moment. The Truman Show, that's the one. I saw that. I joined him in that. I thought that was quite a decent film. But it was, I think it's got to be a few years ago since I've seen that. This is one of the few things that I have done. While I've had a week off being ill, I've been working through all my DVDs and creating a database. And my database for movies at the minute stands at this isn't a total for mine. This is just what I've done so far. On DVD and Blu-ray, I've got 415 movies. So that's not everything yet because I haven't gone through them all, but I've managed to sort out. That's what I've got there. I've got loads of TV series that I enjoy. I told you last week about Miami Vice and that. I have got Wanted Dead or Alive, which was Steve McQueen back as a cowboy years ago. That was my favourites. I have Land of the Giants, The Adventures of Champion the Wonder Horse, Man in a Suitcase. I've got the original Magnum. There's loads of series. I've got the whole series of Frasier that I haven't got around to watching yet. That's there to watch. The old Quantum Leap. Got the complete series of that. Denham Elliott. The name rings a bell, and I've probably seen him. He was in lots of. Was he in war? Is he in a few war films and things? Cristiano, hello, welcome to you. Nice to see you. Hope you're doing well over there. We're at the moment. We're chatting about movies again. I've found that I was talking to my son today. He was on about films, and he was saying that they haven't. They've been getting rid of their DVDs. And when I was talking to him, and we were talking about how much it costs for the streaming series, and he said I can get most of mine on different streaming channels. I said, but yeah, if you work out how much you're costing, he spends nearly 40 quid a month on streaming channels, and he can have he still got the DVD. So once you've got them and paid for them, it doesn't cost you anything to watch them, does it? So he's I'm trying to convince him that his old man knows better and that he should actually go with DVDs and Blu-rays. I like having physical copies of stuff. It's true. Do I remember Jason King? Yeah, absolutely. Andy, that was my biggest problem with streaming. I can remember watching a series, getting into the last series of it, getting about 3 episodes in, and then they pulled it off of the channel. So I never did get to see the end of it. So that's one of the things I love about having all the DVDs. I mean, I've got them spread. They are spread over. I'm trying to cut them down. The 415 films that I've got are actually in 2 boxes about that long by that high, and they all fit in there and they fit nicely. The problem we get is with the TV series, there's all different lot size of boxes. I told you I bought Deadwood last week. I'm trying to think what I've bought. I was looking at prices of things are going up. Do you remember, for those of you that live in the UK, do you remember Howard's Way? It was set in Hampshire, and it was about a boating firm. And when I bought it in the lockdown for 30 quid because I thought it was a 6 series for 30 quid. Works out a £5 for a series, which I didn't think was bad for it. And I looked up the other day because I was thinking to myself, shall I keep it or shall I sell it? How much is it worth? And it's now selling for 70 quid. Wow. Like loads and loads of money. So I'm not going to sell it now. I'm keeping it because it's worth it. But it's like ER. I love ER. I'm really enjoying it. But I can't see me after watching it, this series, watching it again because there's so much of it. I've got series like Ally McBeal and things like that, which I always thought were really funny. And so I too tend to go and watch them a bit. Favourite television advert, Hovis. They were filmed in a little place called Shaftesbury, Dorset. And I think the hill that the fella goes down on the bike was I think it's called Gold Hill. I'm not sure. I can't remember now. But yeah, I love this channel. This channel, we always end up talking about something completely different to what I talk about on our videos generally. Forever Night. I don't think I've seen that. I don't know that one. I know Knight Rider. Don't suppose it's that at all, do you? But there are some old series that I've been trying to get for ages, and you can't seem to get them. I can't even get them on DVD. Series like Moonlighting from the mid-80s. It's really hard to get off. And then there was another one called Nightcaller that I liked, and really, really hard to get those. I don't know whether I don't think Nightcaller or Moonlighting have ever been available on DVD. I think they have a problem with the licensing on it and never actually got it done. No, Moonlighting, Andy, I've tried everywhere to get it. Can't get a copy of it at all. Monty Python first screened yesterday in 1969, did it? Now that you can get. And Rubbing Yarns. The Wonder Years, that's available. I think the problem they get with a lot of those series is they have to change the music on them because the music's only licensed for so long. And I think I'm trying to think of the series that I watched where they actually did replace the music that was in it with something else, and it was never quite as good. Can't think what it was now. WKRP in Cincinnati. I haven't seen that. I bought oh god, I've got so many series that I haven't actually watched. What happened was it started during lockdown. When we were in lockdown for so long, I bought loads of TV series, things like Some Mothers Do Have Them, Born and Bred. Oh, head's going. I can't remember what it was, but I bought so many, and we watched them obviously because we had plenty of time. But since then, I'm still trying to play catch up on it. I mean, I bought the complete series of Miami Vice, and I'm still on series 2 because I bought so much stuff that I never actually got round to them all. But I'm finding that lately we've been watching much more. Do you remember that program Pushing Up Daisies? That was a bit weird. That I had given to me the 2 series of that, which was quite funny. I liked that. My dad loved Monty Python and the Holy Grail. My dad used to love that. And what was the one where he oh god, my mind's going. I should write down all of these things I want to talk about, all of these films and all the TV shows that we're going to go. My wife, I remember Butterflies. That was Wendy Craig. Good Night America, wherever you are. I'll tell you what, Luke, there are actually on YouTube, there are quite a few episodes of it, but the only problem with them on YouTube is the quality of the picture is really bad. But we watched a few of them a while ago. Hi, Dino, how are you? What's the weather like up in Scotland now then? Is it calmed down a bit? Tammy, oh. Sorry, Tammy, I didn't realise that was you when I was looking up. I've been reading down quickly and I seem like I've missed a few people. Let me just check. So who have we got in? Who have we had in here this evening? Let's have a look. There's Chris Pomfret, Andy Merritt, Jonathan Brewer, who actually, for you latecomers, has won the Blu-rays out of the giveaway. Steve Vowles, Luke Farrell won the DVDs. He's here too. Project Weaver, and Merritt, I think I might have said you twice. Project Weaver, yep. Deb's Mrs. Coffee Walks and Whatever, she's here. I've missed some of you. This is actually flying by tonight. Retro reviews. Is it just me? What is it about Jim Carrey that most people don't seem to get? I know some people love him, and I've never really taken to him much. But I did like the film that I saw yesterday with him. So I think he's a bit wacky for me. Tina, you just had the dreaded flu jab. I've got to have that on the 14th. I'm due mine very soon. Good. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He did it in this film that I saw last night. He pulls some weird faces, doesn't he? All right, we're up to date. Has anybody got any questions they'd like to ask, like me to answer or attempt to? I used to do this thing. What was it called? Ask James or something. When I was doing radio, I had this thing on. It asked me anything or something like that, and some of the weirdest questions, but I had no idea how to answer. You used to get there. It was quite funny. I did them when I was doing the radio. Haven't done anything like that. Favorite novel? Ken Follett. Something to do with the Pillars of the Earth or something. I can't remember now. It was about when they were building a big church back in the 1200s or something. I can't remember. I've got it in there. As you can tell, I'm really rubbish with names lately. Was I a Game of Thrones fan? No, I wasn't. To be honest with you, I haven't seen one of them. It never really grabbed my fancy, to be honest with you, and so it kind of passed me by. Do I like decorating? Absolutely not. If I can get someone else to paint my rooms, I would rather do that. I went through a stage. Do you remember back in the 90s when they had a program called Changing Rooms? I can remember doing our living room in the house with one of them things and rag rolling all the way around the house. That in one living room, that was really, that was something. I don't particularly. What I think about, I'm one of those people who believes that paying somebody to do a job properly is better than me doing it not well because I don't like doing it. And so I tend to, if I can, I tend to get them to do that. How's my Spanish? It's all right. My problem with Spanish is I'm better at reading it and writing it than I am at speaking it because I don't have anyone to speak to it. I use Duolingo, and it's very hard. I did have somebody from Colombia last year who lived here for a while, and I kind of spoke to him, but because I don't speak it enough, I've never really got good at it. I can understand. My next door neighbor works for a travel agency, and she goes abroad a lot, and she brings me the Spanish version of the Hello magazine, and I'm amazed how much of it I can actually go through and understand. So I'm getting better at it, but it's kind of, I don't enjoy it as much since it's become all AI. The channel Duolingo used to be really good, but it's gone all more AI based lately, and it's not the same as it was. It's not as enjoyable as it was, and as it's gone more AI. There are more adverts on it and everything, which has made it less entertaining than it used to be. Where am I at? Favorite memory from my showman days. Oh, Steve, there are so many, and so many of them are more about the people than about the business itself. An example: 1978. About this time of year, I was stopping with my cousin at Enfield in North London, and we all went to the pictures to see Grease. And I'm talking about all of us, and all of us young'uns, if you like. I would have been about 18 at the time, and there must have been 40 of us went to the pictures to see Grease. And I can remember coming back from there and going to the pub. There was a pub at the end of the fairground, and all of us were outside the pub singing the songs from Grease, and it was just a great thing. The things that I remember from my fairground days, I used to say there were only 4 things I didn't like about travelling on fairgrounds, and that was moving, building up, pulling the stuff back down, and actually having to look after it when you were open. All the rest of it, all of the talking and all of the parties and things, were great fun. So we did loads of that. I got loads of really good memories. We used to open at a place called Caversham near Reading in the summer, and we'd have barbecues after we closed of a night time, and so many laughs and things like that. I was open at Colchester on the day that Prince Charles and Diana got married, which just happened to be my 21st birthday. And so we had a good party in a pub there. There was loads of people my age. So I can remember, it's more for me about memories of things that we did, the people that I knew. Those things stay with me. The actual business of it itself is just work. And the work part of it, it's a grind. What you have to do. You get up in the morning, you maintain everything, make sure everything's safe to open in the evening or in the afternoon, and that's much of what your day's like. And you sit there and try and take money, which is no different to when we had our arcade and our bingo down the coast. So those kinds of things are all the same, and nothing really changed, to be honest with you. Did I watch Pillars of the Earth? No, I didn't. Funnily enough. Is that the book that I'm thinking of, Luke? I really should go in my bedroom. I've got the book sitting in my bedroom. If I cared to take the time to just run in there and go and have a look, I could tell you. Oh, Blackadder. That's what reminded me. I bought a box set of Mr. Bean DVDs the other day. Have you noticed, all of you that are here, how we seem to talk a lot about TV and DVDs and things like that in these nights? My son was saying to me today about music. Now, my Emery is 35 coming. He'll be 35 in December. And he was on about music. And he's part of that group that has kind of never really bought records and CDs. He's got all of his music on his phone. That's the one, Luke. That's the one I've got the book of. Yeah, Building the Cathedral. That's it. The book was brilliant. The best advice received. Oh, I could go on all day about that. I was very fortunate to be surrounded by people who had my best interests at heart. People who, mostly showmen, I have to say, who come from backgrounds of running businesses, which is what we've all done. And I've had loads of good advice. I can't think of one thing in particular, But one of the best, my dad would always give me loads of advice. I'm just trying to think of something. I suppose that the one that should be for all of us is to treat people how you'd like to. I think that's probably the best advice, because none of us like being treated badly. And it's very easy to do that. So I always try to think when I'm talking to somebody, or when I get into a disagreement with someone, which isn't, funnily enough, is very rare these days. I'm very lucky. But it's a matter of making sure that you treat people the same way that you've been treated, that you'd like to be treated. I think that's it. I know what I'll tell you what I used to be terrible at. And as I've got older, I've realised how blooming obnoxious it makes you. I used to be one of them that would pick somebody up if they said something that was wrong, because I wanted to say, no, you're wrong, this is what it actually is. And I used to do it a lot. And then I suddenly realised that all it did was make me feel superior to someone and make me look like a fool. Because I think what you find is, when you do that all the time, you're trying to be clever. I think it probably comes from a lower self-esteem, that you feel like you have to put somebody in their place and show them that you're right. But I overcame that through a thought, which was basically, if someone was telling me, I had an occasion a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to somebody about music, and they were talking to me about 12-inch singles, and they were telling me when they first had them. And it was like talking about 5 or 6 years earlier than we got them in England. And I kind of was going to say it, and then I thought, is it important? Is it going to make any difference? Is it worth going, that I'm better than you, I know this, and you don't, you're wrong, and selling? Because it doesn't help. I don't think it helps. I think it makes you come across as superior, and a lot of the time it shows you up for being a little bit inferior, if anything. Does that kind of answer your question, Jonathan, or have I rambled too long? Do I know the actor Geraint Wyn Davies? No, I don't think I do. No, I don't. Without going in there and checking, but I am related to Michael Sheen. I do have a film star in the family. He's my third cousin once removed. And if you don't know who he is, he played Brian Clough in that Damned United. He played Dr. Masters in that Masters of Sex series. He played David Frost in Frost Nixon. He was born in Wales. And the reason we're related is because my great-grandmother and his great-great-grandmother were two sisters. And I've been able to find the links right the way down. And if I look at him, there is a family resemblance, not to me because I take my mum's side of the family, but my brother from there upwards, that area of the face is very much alike. You would think that they're related. Fantabulosa, yeah, he was in that. Yes, he did play Tony Blair as well in The Queen, didn't he? Yeah. In the film The Queen. He's quite a good actor. I'd like to have half of his talent, and I'd be happy with a quarter of his money. That would do me. That would do me, I think. So, my favourite Holmes portrayal, I'm going back up the list and looking at your things again. My favourite Holmes portrayal, I talked about it the other week, is Michael Caine in Without a Clue. Because he was so different to what you normally see. And Ben Kingsley played Watson. And Jonathan, you need to go and see that, find that movie out if you can. Yeah, The Queen, Steve. That was on a while back, wasn't it? Right, it's 10-7. A serious portrayal of Holmes. Who was the one who did the TV series? Was it Jeremy Brett? I can't think now. I think it might be Jeremy Brett. Off the top of my head. To be honest, I can't remember the older ones going way back in time. Yep. Yeah, I quite liked him. He did the Granada television series. That's probably the one that sticks with me most. He's the one that I've probably seen more. Yes, anyway, it's 10-7. Badly prepared tonight. As I said, I've had this week off, badly prepared because I haven't thought about the channel all week. And so I haven't thought of what I'm going to talk about. All I've got written down was the 2 draw winners and an update on my health. That was pretty much it this week. And as usual, we have talked about movies. We've talked about DVDs. We've talked about fairgrounds. It's surprising in a short amount of time how widely we talk, isn't it? So, yeah, that's about it from me for today. I have to come up with some ideas for some videos and get back to it because I'm not feeling very good at it. And the other thing I've got to say is we haven't crashed this evening. Thank the Lord. It's the first time that we have done a live stream where it hasn't crashed for a while. Funny how time flies, indeed. Right, thank you very much, everybody. I look forward to seeing you again next week. Hopefully, I'll be back on my game and I'll have things to talk about. And I will see you very soon. To you 2 winners of the DVDs, don't forget to email me with your addresses and I'll get them sent off for you this week. Thank you very much. I will see you next time.